Penn State 28, Wisconsin 13 in a way nobody expected. That's Nate Bauer. I'm Greg Pickel from BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. The Nittany Lions improved to 7-0, but in the process lose Drew Allar, denied Dennis Sutton for at least a half, Anthony Donko for most of the game at right tackle. Nate, let's start with Drew Allar off the top.
Yep.
He was hurt late in the first half, whether it was on the sack, on the second down play or not. It was first down play, rather, or not. We don't know, but he went right to the locker room with head trainer Andy Buttonen, came out for warm-ups with a brace on his left knee, maybe thought about giving it to go, and then never returned.
Yeah, and James Franklin offered no update. I think that the context of James Franklin, when he was asked about it, of Franklin saying that he wouldn't put it in the terms that the question was, which was whether or not he could have gone. And, obviously Franklin doesn't get into the injury stuff, but basically the paraphrase is that Drew basically didn't feel he could be as mobile as he would have needed to be to run the offense. And so, to me, that's a fairly clear distinction. Look, I don't really want to get into this, but I've torn my ACL, and I don't think that the guy that was standing on the sideline that was moving around could have necessarily done that if it was an ACL tear. So for the people, for the brain, I mean, our minds immediately go to the worst case scenario.
Right.
It didn't seem to be that to me. I'm not a doctor, but I play with people. So in any case, an interesting thing that obviously everybody's going to be looking at and watching and monitoring this week to see what's up with him.
Yeah, no question about that. The top topic going into Ohio State week, without a doubt. We'll see on that. Beau Pribula very well in relief of Drew Allar, finishing 11-13 for 98 yards, a touchdown.
Yep.
Hit some really nice throws, Nate, in key moments, and hit him in tight windows, hit him down the sideline, as we saw in the fourth quarter. Pretty much as you could ask for a guy that has played, but never in this kind of a moment on the road against a team that admittedly is not great, but certainly is not the bottom dweller of the Big Ten.
Yeah, it was a combination of, I think, yes, Beau Pribula making some plays, and a thing that James Franklin brought up was the adjustments that Andy Kotelnicki made to the offense, right? Starting to get him more comfortable, and you could see that they were disjointed at the beginning, right? I mean, I think I ran the numbers. It was
not good.
Well, no, it was, yeah. I mean, they had 10 plays on the first two drives in the second half for maybe 38 yards, I believe it was.
And a fumble that was probably.
And a fumble, right? So there were obviously issues in getting him settled and comfortable. But then they started doing the things that he does well, and keeping a defense off balance in the process. And so what you saw was really the drive between the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter, and then the one that followed it that iced the game was just total command. And out of it, they converted third down passes, a couple of big ones. He had a couple of big third down runs. So just that balanced approach where you can keep another team guessing about what you're going to do, it gives you options. What does it mean for next week? I think we should save that conversation for another day, right? But at the moment, very clearly a guy that has the confidence of his teammates, has confidence in himself, and it very clearly, to me, serves as a building block for his confidence.
For that conversation next week, you want to tune in to Blue White Illustrated here on the YouTube channel, but also BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. 50% off an annual membership bill monthly, so join with the promo code JOIN50 today at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com for all the insider intel. Latest on Drew Allar, recruiting news, and much more. Nate, moving over to the defensive side of the ball. I thought James Franklin hit the nail on the head late in his news conference when he said they knew this game was going to be about third downs and winning the running battle. And they weren't winning those at halftime, which is why they found themselves down 10-7, partially because of Beau Pribula's ability to run, and partially because the Wisconsin offense was just swallowed up by Penn State's defense after halftime. Penn State ended up winning both of those. Rushing defense, again, very good. Even without denying Dennis Sutton, will reiterate, tried to play one play, went to the sideline immediately, never returned. I watched him walk off here. He was beating some fans, whoever they were. He had a limp, but he had a smile on his face, so you would like to think that maybe a sign that things aren't as bad as they could be. At the same time, it was pretty evident he was in a pretty good amount of pain. Penn State's defense overcame that anyway.
Yeah, they really got themselves into more advantageous situations right, into forcing Wisconsin to third and long, basically. And they had been doing that earlier in the game, but certainly in the second half. And when you saw that interception, like, let's be honest, both of those teams with those quarterbacks, right? It wasn't just
was
Penn
not
State.
A quarterback, right? Exactly, right.
And it wasn't just Wisconsin. Wisconsin's playing with their backup quarterback.
Right.
You know, obviously their starter had a season-ending injury earlier this year.
Right.
But if you, as a defense, can get your opponent into behind-the-stick situations, long third downs, and they are not going to be the zippiest passes and the air-it-out type of offense that Drew Allar can provide, that does wonders for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was the case for Wisconsin. So once Penn State got them into those situations, it was night-night because Wisconsin can't do anything but run the ball. So, you know, that was a highly effective thing for Penn State. So key plays made along the way. But obviously, I mean, and I'm not going to take anything away from Jaylen Reed from the play that he made, but that ball was thrown straight to him, right? He finished it off, did what he needed to do, and obviously that just totally transformed the total trajectory of the game, the momentum of the game, and everything that happened after that.
So there's plenty to talk about. Let's move forward real quick, Nate, to Ohio State week. That's going to be here before we know it. I think was it midnight yet on the East Coast? It is midnight on the East Coast. So it is Sunday. It is the start of Ohio State week. Penn State will get home sometime in the wee hours of Sunday morning, as will we. But the Buckeyes looked a lot like Penn State did in the first half today for 4 quarters against Nebraska. Nebraska hung around, had a chance to take the lead late in the game, and Jaylen Reed threw a game-ending interception. I think that may change the way some people look at Ohio State. Obviously, the status of Drew Allar is going to change the way people are looking at Penn State in that game. But, you know, Penn State and Ohio State both did what they need to do at this point of the season in various ways to make a top 5 showdown at State College. Big noon kickoff. That's going to end something. But just quick thoughts on that as we get ready to move forward into the November portion of the schedule.
Yeah, I think that this game, and we're going to kill me for this, but this game gets Penn State into house money territory, in a lot of ways, right? Just getting through this game, I heard, we're going to have these hypothetical conversations about the playoffs for the rest of the year, I get it, but at 7-0, you host a top 5 team, a team that has been a boogeyman for Penn State, for sure. They know that. Nobody's not aware of that. This is a hard Ohio State program. It's a challenging game. But playing at home, Penn State has momentum. They have found ways to win.
Yep.
Ohio State is not infallible. They have demonstrated that. Can Penn State get a win? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Right? Like, I'm not saying that it's totally inconsequential, but in the scheme of things, it doesn't end Penn State's season to lose that game. And I do think, just based on conversations this offseason, what have you, it changes the mentality of the program.
There's a certain level of freedom that comes with it.
In a better way. It
Yeah.
helps Penn State to be able to go into this game and know that even if it loses, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that, whether or not they can play more freely, whether or not there's more opportunity for them to pull off what will still be an upset, even with a one-loss Ohio State team. You know, but this is what everybody has been talking about and have thought about since for a long time. The way that the schedule's set up to get in, I mean, back to July, The ESPN FBI had this as the most consequential football game of the 2024 college football season. Here it is.
Yep. Well, we will talk to you next week. The next time James Franklin talks is Monday. We'll have complete coverage here on the Blue White Illustrated YouTube channel and, of course, at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com, where you can join for 50% off an annual subscription billed monthly with promo code JOIN50 at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. That's Nate Bauer. I'm Greg Pickel. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, don't wait. Sign up.
Yeah, sign up today. And I'll do this one for T. Frank. Hit the like and subscribe button here on the YouTube channel, too. We'll talk to you next time from State College.